The jurisdictions that we place in are Victoria, Tasmania, the Northern Territory, and Western Australia. Unfortunately, we aren't in Queensland at the moment. We'd love to be in the future, just not at the moment. So if you get into the program, we ask you to preference which jurisdiction you would prefer to go to, but we also ask for a little bit of flexibility where possible. So we can match you and your skill set with the school where you can do the most good as well. So in my case, that looked like moving from Brisbane to Ararat. In Jack's case, that looked like moving from Sydney to Shepparton. So yes, not necessarily within your home state, though you will be able to preference that if that is your preference. We have our 6-week intensive in Melbourne at the ACU campuses in East Melbourne, and we tend to put our associates up at University College at the University of Melbourne, which is quite a fun experience, I have to say. We are hoping that that's what we can do this year, but as everyone on the call knows, with COVID, we are not in a position to say yet if that'll be the case this year. We certainly hope it will. That's a really good question, Chloe, because of the Tassie high school system. No, there is not a grade preference, but Jack and I taught legal studies, and that tends to, for example, be a subject that is for year 11s and 12s. It really depends on the school. Usually our associates get a mix of between 7 and 12, but not always. Sometimes they more have juniors, sometimes they more have seniors. I know the schools that we are at in Tasmania, such as Ulverston, now have a 7 to 12 model. So in Tassie specifically, we don't place at the colleges, which are just 11 and 12, but we do place at high schools that do have the 7 to 12. I don't know where you're from, Chloe, but like in the Northwest, for example, we don't place it like Don College, for example, but we do place at Ulverston, which has that 7 to 12 range.
And just to add to that really quickly, once you're in the school in your second year, you would submit preferences and you get more of a say because the school actually knows you and your strengths and stuff. So as you get further into the program, you do have more choice. Just the first year, it's probably a bit more based on what your preferences are. I mean, what you're able to teach.
In terms of the latter, no, unfortunately there isn't. But in terms of the schools and where, it's probably easier if I break that down into regions. I know we have a big presence in the northwest of Tasmania. So Penguin is almost becoming a little hub for us in Tasmania. We have a lot of associates who live in Penguin. And they're teaching around Burnie, Ulverston, Devonport, around that sort of area. We have people in and around the Hobart region as well, as I'm just trying to think about the Midlands as well. Yes, around the Midlands too. So the schools change every year. We have other schools who are wanting to join the program. So we don't release the list of schools because it's not static, it's a dynamic sort of process where we're always adding schools and things like that. But yeah, we're predominantly in the south and the north.